All right, guys, we're gonna start working with some matrices today. Just some very, very basic matrix operations. Should be very easy for you, I hope so. And you may have even seen them before. Just not sure how much matrix work you've done before. So here we go. First of all, what is a matrix? A matrix is just a rectangular array. Whoa, a rectangular array of numbers. Elements. Any number inside a matrix is technically called an element. Let me show you one here. Here's a matrix that has 4, -3, 5, and 1 inside it. Those are all called elements. And what they may ask you today is something like this. Like what is matrix say 21? When you say 21, that means row 2, column 1. Also, dimensions of a matrix, the dimensions, you always go rows first, columns second. So you go like rows times columns, a row by column. So this one would be a 2 by 2. You can't mess that one up because it's got 2 rows going across and 2 columns coming down. So it's a 2 by 2. Okay, so we're going to ask you, what is matrix A 21? That means what element is in row 2, column 1? What's that one right there? It's the 5. Row 2, column 1. Okay, so that's the first kind of thing you have to do today. Pretty basic, but make sure you know what dimensions are. So let me show you one more dimensions. If I have one like this, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, if that's my matrix, that would be a 2 by 3 matrix because it's got 2 rows and it's got 3 columns. Okay, so rows first, columns second. All right, to add or subtract matrices, they must have the same dimensions, which means they must have the same size. These first two right here, I would be allowed to add those because they have the same dimensions. That's a 2 by 2, that's a 2 by 2. Now the one down here is a 2 by 3, so I could not add that one and that one, or that one and that one. The only two I can add are these two right here because they have the exact same size. They must have the exact same dimensions to add or subtract them. Not to multiply, but to add or subtract. We're not even doing multiplication today, but just want to give you a heads up. All right, so here's how you add. It's really difficult, so I'll go really slow. I'm being very sarcastic. You can't see my face, but a C plus D, you're just going to take the first term in each one. First of all, check. This one is a 3 by 2. That one's a 3 by 2. So we are allowed to add and subtract those two. So take the first numbers in each one, 1 and 1, add them together. Take this. The elements have the same position. You're just going to add those. 2 and -1 is 1. Now go to your second row. -2 and 1, -1. 0 and 3, 3. -3 and 2, -1. -1 and 3, 2. And there's matrix addition. All there is to it. Matrix subtraction works the same way, except now you subtract. So we'll go 1 minus 1. Let me change colors so you can kind of see where I'm going here if you need to. 1 minus 1, 0. 2 minus -1, 3. -2 minus 1, -3. 0 minus 3, -3. -3 minus 2, -5. -1 minus 3, -4. And that's all there is to it. That's all you have to do for addition and subtraction. Just make sure you make sure they have the same dimensions. I've seen so many people add and subtract matrices when they couldn't. Like they just made up their own way. You can't do it. They must have the same dimensions. Okay, last slide, scalar multiplication. Anytime you have a number sitting right outside a matrix like this, that number is called a scalar. Looks like scalar, but it is scalar. And all you do is really tough. You treat it like it's distributive property. I'm going to multiply every element inside that matrix by 5. So -2 times 5, 7 times 5, 14 times 5, 12 times 5. And by the way, everybody knows 5 times 14, 70. Okay, your assignment's going to be on Delta Math today. Shouldn't take you but just a couple of minutes because this is all there is on it. And I want you to have a good weekend coming up and hope to see you soon.